Lovely fellas. Hello, good day, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever is the time, wherever you are looking from. I have a special episode today. Something cool I was thinking about. Top 5 things I would like to see in the game, implemented in the game. Either because I think the game needs it to be able to thrive a little bit again because it's really going down, or things I would like to have implemented because of my personal preference and satisfaction. Numero uno. I would really like to see this crafting system revamped. I hate it. Specifically, the one thing I hate the most is the 5 pieces queue times. I have a queue of 5 items I can craft. And I want those hands to move faster. Multitasking. So, yeah. 25 to 50 pieces in the queue times. This is the number one I would like to see. And this is not just for my personal satisfaction. I honestly think people don't have that much patience. Waiting, it's not fun. That's number one, queuing times. At least 25 to 50 or even unlimited, number one. Number 2, this is a very similar game to Warframe when it comes to building Descendants. You increase your capacity on Warframes and then you polarize certain sockets so that you can reduce the capacity of the module or the module you put in. Great. However, a Warframe can operate with one activator and one forma, one catalyst. In the first Descendant, no. Most of the time, it's useless. Now, some people might argue, no, you can build ends, shut up. No, you can't, okay? There's a reason why everybody does 10 catalyst, and it's not just because of min-maxing purposes. It's because almost every Descendant doesn't perform really that great if it's not fully kitted. For example, Essimo. It's not fully kitted. And I can't put anything anymore. So I have to choose between power, health, or cooldowns, or range. If I want to put everything, I need to add more catalyst. So a 4 catalyst, not every Descendant can work on a 4 catalyst, okay? Anais should be able to do better. Either let me craft them in bulk and be like, okay, it's gonna take you 20 hours. It's true that in Warframe takes 22 hours to get one forma or catalyst, so to speak, right? But I only need 1 or 2. In here, I need 10. Sometimes I need 12. Okay? And if I want to experiment, even more. So I highly suggest that this changes. So my number 2, either put a bulk crafting or make it a 1 hour. Make it a bloody 1 hour. You know, 2 hours. Make it a 2 hours. I'm fine with the 2 hours. I'm fine even with the 3 hours. But 7 hours and a half. That's 3 a day. You know, it's going to take me almost 4 days at full power. I have to sit here, remember every 8 hours to come back to put another catalyst. Like, what is this, an office job? I need to put a checklist. I need an Excel spreadsheet. I'm trying to play a game. Okay? Good. What's that? Already 6 minutes in. I talk too much. Right. Number 3. So let's talk about content in general. I think this map is getting stale. I go to White Knight Gulch. I go here at the outpost and I go in and I do my Fortress Outskirts mission because I need for my catalyst the blue brains, the neural circuit. I already know where I'm going. Oh, I need the microbiogel. I go Eco Swamp. I jump in here, boom, I do the outpost, I get my microbiogel. Okay, I'm learning everything like the back of my pocket, and most people probably do, right? So it's becoming a bit stale. We need more content in the sense we need more stories, we need more maps, we need more diverse environment, we need more engagement. We kind of feel like we're doing the same thing. We kind of, the rats on the wheel, right? On like spinning around. That's what I call boring. And you don't want the game to become boring. The moment the game becomes boring is the moment the game dies, okay? And it's getting there. So we really need to improve upon the content in the sense, new Descendants, the stuff that matters. New Descendants, new weapons, new stories, new maps, new bosses. But we're going to talk about bosses in a second. So I would say overall, I think they said that they're trying to make the team bigger, which I think is needed at this point, so they can, you know, push a bit more content, because we're burning through content like there's no tomorrow. I mean, gamers today, am I right? We don't play a half an hour like 20 years ago. Now we sit down, the sun goes down and we still play. Okay, so that's that. Colossi, I've heard this, and this is really interesting. I would love to see Colossi in the open world. For example, I'm going in on Echo Swamp to get some microbiogel and for my catalyst, and there's an alert. Oh my god, up north spawned, the dead bride. Deadstalker. Gluttony. So send an alert to everyone, create an instance, 10, 20 people go in there and fight a big boss. That'll be great, okay? Open world bosses. I think this is really cool, and I think it would be nice to be implemented, because again, it's getting boring to go and fight Gluttony in the same space, Deadstalker in the same space, and everybody in the same space. This is for open world bosses, okay? And another one, which I think will be really cool, which I think that's going to be my top 5. This is my 5. It's going to have to do with bosses in general. So one of your unique selling points, of your key selling points for this game, has always been fighting these giant bosses. Okay, it's Vimes of Shadow of Colossus. You fight these immense creatures that are giant and all of that. Well, first of all, they're not that big. Okay, make them bigger, more teeth, more big, more exaggerate them. Okay, I want them to be so big I can hardly see them, and I can grapple on them and stuff. Like, go wild. Please stop holding yourself back. Go wild. Just close your eyes and the craziest stuff that comes to your mind, put it there, and increase the difficulty on it as well. There needs to be variety. They need to be harder. I think more people would be nice to have on instances of 8 people, but I don't know capability of these, so I'm going to put this one as a separate bonus in a second. However, the boss is bigger, more teeth, more aggressiveness, and a lot more variety. However, in the boss's parenthesis, let me include one thing. There's a big problem with carrying people around. Everybody just goes in the world chat and goes like, I need carry for this, I need carry for that. People are not very engaged with fighting these. They see it's difficult, they see they need 10 catalysts, and most people are not willing to go through all that tedious process to be able to survive the Deadstalker. So nobody does it. Most people don't do it. I would imagine, I don't know, I don't have data at hand. I don't really care about data, okay? I'm not a bloody mathematician or analyst, otherwise I would be doing business, okay? I'm just playing a game. But this is what I see. I play this game daily, I play for many hours daily, and I see the behavior of people. And I'm very good with people's behavior. And I see how they behave. They come in there without even having leveled up Descendants, okay? I've seen people come in with level 1 Haleys and they barely do any damage. Trust me, when I see a good build Haley, I can feel the damage. I see that red line just going. And I'm like, this is very cool, me likey. And then I see someone, I'm like, oh, this is a Haley, nice. And then I see the damage, like, this is a 0 catalyst Haley. You can tell, okay? And I'm not bashing them, but I'm saying, they don't know the mechanics. Maybe it's the first time they're doing it. There needs to be some sort of simulation. Okay, let them go in a simulated room where they fight a version of the Deadstalker where there's a heavy emphasis on the mechanics so they can learn the mechanic. And then they come on a public ground, we go 8 people, that'll be great, by the way, 8 people, but we go 4 people, whatever, and everybody knows how to move around. I think that would make it a lot more comfortable, okay? And that would be my 5. Sort of tell people how to fight the Colossi, because there's that in some creative way, I don't know how. But there's no incentive for them to fight the Colossi in reality, like in the sense of this is going to be fun. And I really think the Colossi is the funniest element in the game. It's the one that really they should double down on heavily, because is the selling point of the game. And I think they could really make it great. I want it to be fun. That's what I'm saying. I want it to be fun, and you have to give people incentive to try it out and make it fun for them. Now, the bonus one, I'm only going to talk for another minute and that's it, I swear. Open world, okay? So, in the open world, there's a bit of a missing element of social aspect, okay? Having instances of 4 people only everywhere makes the world very, very lonely. So, for example, everywhere you go, if there's no players in this area, and I spawn in, this is just an empty space. This is just an empty space. There is nothing. You're going to have 3 mobs that are just going to randomly spawn and walk 5 miles and then disappear. That is it. Nothing. Giant portion of map empty, completely empty. There has to come a player that activates a mission and that spawns everything, which I think it's a clever way of doing it to save resources or whatever the development system is good. But the world feels very lonely. I think what it needs instances of more than just 4 players. I think it needs instances of like 10, maybe 20 players, or maybe, I don't know, this might be costly, obviously, but bigger servers, where you create instances of bigger servers that can hold bigger populations, similar to how Elder Scrolls Online has it. I don't know. This is not something I know. It's just something I feel that is wrong, in the sense that is really hurting the game, because you feel very lonely, and feeling very lonely in a multiplayer game, it's really, really bad, in my opinion. That's it. That's like my bonus. You let me know your top 5 in the comment section below, and let's have a poll and everything. Let's have some fun discussions. Give me your creative ideas, fellas, because I'm not very creative, okay? Give me good stuff. Give me good stuff to see. I want to discuss some good stuff. I'm in here, I lack creative ideas. So I'm very curious to see what other people think, and people that have very cool ideas. Let's go with it. Roll the outro. I'm out. Ciao. I need to eat.